I first had the privilege of serving as a mentor when International Justice Mission did their first Fuller Formation group. That was back in 2018. And loved being a part of that organization and that group, but also experiencing the curriculum for myself.
We have been doing the Fuller Formation group since its inception. We were part of the beta test. I was in that first cohort for our church, and from that it's grown and become a major focus for what we do at our church. I've been around spiritual practices all my life, studied them in a variety of different places. What I found was with Fuller Formation groups is, though that I understood things like solitude and lament and other things like that, simply because I didn't have a place where I engaged in them with a group of people around me that I cared about, they really weren't a part of my life. And so what it did was develop a number of the spiritual disciplines and spiritual practices that I hadn't paid any attention to in a long time.
One of the things that I really appreciate about Fuller Formation Group is the whole framework that it provides. Spiritual formation is really trendy these days, but so often it can be really individualized. Our society in general, we're all about self-care and self-fulfillment and self-promotion. It's all about self, and the spiritual formations can sometimes just kind of fall into what is going to help me feel closer to God. But what Fuller Formation groups, they situate our spiritual formation in the context of community and of God Himself. And so I love the framing of, we aren't the heroes of the story, that God is the hero of the story, and God is the one who is acting, and God is the one who is causing the growth. So we may plant or we may water, but it's God who causes the growth. So I love that.
Our biggest win at the Fuller Center for Spiritual Formation is when an individual tells us that they feel closer to God, closer to their community, and have a real clarity about their calling in the world because their pastor invested in their life. Of course, we want to be a partner, but we want their primary place of growth and transformation to be in their church or in their mission institution with the leaders that are called to love and care for their spiritual life.
We had the traditional small groups, but we knew that we needed something more in order to get people to the place where they really engaged in what it meant to follow Jesus on a daily basis.
I think that organizations will benefit from using Fuller Formation groups because this is essential work that we must do. Whether we're missional organizations or churches, what we owe to our staff and what we owe to our people who are following Jesus in the midst of a challenging world is the very best opportunity for them to find ways to center themselves on the reality of who Jesus is on a daily basis.
Fuller Formation groups, it's an invitation to an experience of God as a cohort. This is a way for churches and organizations to say, listen, we say all the time that apart from Jesus you can do nothing, but most of the ways we expend our energies is about doing. And by offering this program, we're saying we really do want to help you to abide in Jesus, and we're inviting you to do this. And we want to do this together with each other and with God. And so I would invite you to consider inviting those in your church or organization to meet with God and each other.